Tope, can you talk to me about how you got your start in the oil and gas industry?
Yeah, definitely. I started out very early on at a young age of about 5 or 6. My dad was a petroleum geologist for Texaco, later Chevron, and I remember one day him coming home with some maps, and on these maps he had colors and contours, and I was very excited about the maps. And I sat and asked him, hey, what are these maps and what do you do with them? And he explained that he used the maps to find treasure, and this treasure helped people have electricity in their homes and drive their cars. And I just got really excited, more so because of the colors and the maps. And really from then I wanted to be part of the industry. So with that goal in mind, I went on to school, got my bachelor's and my master's in petroleum geoscience, and went on and started my career in the industry.
That's a really neat story to really be able to pinpoint that time and being fascinated, I guess, and intrigued by that. Once you started professionally working, that is, can you talk to us about the path to get to where you are today?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually started out of school. My first full-time job was with Chesapeake Energy, and that was Chesapeake at the time was very entrepreneurial. I remember from day one we came on and I was managing 2 to 4 rigs. So it was a great place to learn the fundamentals of the industry. I had great mentors that helped me and supported me. From then on, I moved on to a larger organization at Marathon Oil and eventually Anadarko Petroleum, where again I continued to advance my experience on the technical and operational side, not only in geoscience, but I was able to get some background in reservoir engineering, drilling engineering, as well as some A&D and business development. During that time, I got more interested in the business side of the industry, so I went on and got my MBA. And after getting my MBA, I transitioned into energy investment banking. Ultimately, that helped lead me to my current role at energy private equity at Juniper Capital.
Interesting story there. Talk to us about maybe any risk or anything that you can pinpoint. Maybe was a challenge for you, maybe making that switch, or what that was like for you and overcoming that too.
Absolutely. When I started my career, what you find is a lot of times geoscientists or technical staff as a whole, we tend to work in silos. We get really good at what we do, and you focus on the task. And a lot of times there's this disconnect between your function and what you're doing and how that ties to value. So early on, I started recognizing that understanding the different drivers or the different sub-disciplines within the industry and how that accounts for value was very important to me. I needed to understand that so I could understand how what I'm doing impacts our greater value for the organization. So I was very interested on the business side of things. Well, in doing so, to be able to get that exposure, I intentionally started to seek out roles at where I currently worked at the time, while on the operator side, where I could get more business development experience, I could get more engineering experience, where I could get more financial and economic experience. And in doing so, that's what led me to where I'm at. And I had great mentors that supported me, great bosses that were like, hey, if you recognize that you can bring value to the table while learning these sub-disciplines and still getting your job done, they were very supportive of that, and that helped me get where I am today.
What about any advice for young professionals? Knowing that and looking back, it sounds like you had great mentors and chances for that. Do you have advice for anyone trying to find their place in their career?
Yeah, I would say the first thing I would recommend is getting a good mentor or mentors. I was very fortunate where I had several throughout my career that I still keep up with today, and that's the first step, finding someone that can work with you, can help you out. And I've found, even when I also participate in mentoring kind of younger professionals, I found that it's a two-way thing where they're learning from me as much as I'm learning from them. So as long as you can find someone that can support you and is engaged with you, I think that's very important. The second thing I would recommend is focusing on learning the different other aspects of the industry. So try and broaden that skill set beyond just your core function, your core skills that you have, and being able to tie that back to how am I creating value for my organization, how am I creating value for the shareholders, how am I creating value for my investors. So those are the two things I would give as advice to younger professionals.
Great advice there. What about, Tope, any technology that you can maybe pinpoint that you're seeing, in the industry? Even technology just in the past couple of years has changed a lot. What do you see there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the industry continues to evolve, and technology is definitely continuing to help us become more efficient, especially in this environment where all operators now are focused on becoming more of a low-cost operators. And in doing so, we got so much data out there, incorporating data analytics, being able to do things quicker, using AI and things like that have become more of the norm than they were, say, 5 years ago. And I think as a professional, being more equipped in those aspects of the industry and understanding those different drivers are very important, because we're getting to the point now where you got to be able to wear many hats, and leveraging the technology that's available, using the data that's available to allow you to do that, I think is very beneficial to your career.
Well, we appreciate you sharing your story with us, and congratulations on this honor.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. And for more on honorees like Tope, you can find that on heartenergy.com.